Before Yasuke, the African samurai, carved his legendary path in feudal Japan, there was Oda Nobunaga, the fearless daimyo who defied centuries of tradition and nearly unified Japan. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, you'll journey to Japan's Sengoku period and navigate Yasuke through the warring states. But before you wield Yasuke's blade, step into the world of the samurai master who taught him the ways of bushido, Oda Nobunaga. To see our episode on Yasuke, please click on the link in the description. This is the extraordinary story of Japan's great unifier, the demon king of the sixth heaven, Oda Nobunaga. History's most fascinating figures, Part 38. Oda Nobunaga was born in 1534 during the chaotic Sengoku period, a time when Japan was fractured by constant feuds between feudal lords, or daimyo. His father, Oda Nobuhide, was the daimyo of Owari province. From a young age, Nobunaga was known for his wild and rebellious nature, earning him the nickname the Fool of Owari. He would attend formal events in casual attire, laugh inappropriately, and disregard the rigid samurai etiquette of his time. Around 1549, he was married to Nohimi, the daughter of his father's former rival, Saito Dosan. But in 1551, Nobunaga's father died unexpectedly. At his father's funeral, Nobunaga's erratic behavior, reportedly throwing ceremonial incense at the altar, raised doubts about his ability to lead and fueled opposition within the clan, sparking a succession crisis. To secure his control over his clan, Nobunaga would spend nearly a decade battling rival daimyos, uncles, cousins, and even his own brothers. Nobunaga acted swiftly to secure power, assembling a force of 1,000 men. Sensing weakness, rival daimyo Imagawa Yoshimoto besieged Nobunaga's brother, Nobuhiro, at Anjo Castle, forcing Nobunaga to turn over their political hostage, the 9-year-old Matsudaira Takechiyo, buying time but not peace. Disappointed by Nobunaga's behavior, his mentor, Hirate Masahide, committed seppuku as a final reprimand, moving Nobunaga to fully embrace his role as leader. Soon after, Nobunaga's uncle, Oda Nobutomo, challenged him by seizing 2 forts and killing the Shugo, or governor of Owari. With support from another uncle, Nobumitsu, Nobunaga crushed Nobutomo's forces in a series of battles at Kiyosu Castle, capturing Kiyosu and forcing Nobutomo to commit seppuku. At the Battle of Muraki Castle against Yoshimoto, Nobunaga introduced firearms, arquebuses, for the first time in battle, a decision that would change the course of Japanese warfare. Shortly after, Nobunaga's younger brother Nobuyuki rebelled, but after multiple failed attempts, he was assassinated. In 1559, Nobunaga eliminated his last Oda rival, his cousin Nobukata, by capturing Iwakura Castle. With his control over the Oda clan and Owari province finally secured, Nobunaga set his sights outside of Owari, but his longtime rival Daimyo Yoshimoto stood in his way. In 1560, Yoshimoto's army marched on Owari province, with Matsudaira Takechiyo, now Matsudaira Motoyasu, quickly overrunning and capturing Maroon Fortress. Outnumbered nearly 10-1, Nobunaga's men faced daunting odds. His advisors recommended retreat, but Nobunaga refused, knowing his only chance was a surprise counter-offensive. Nobunaga used his knowledge of the terrain around Okehazama to launch a daring surprise attack. Nobunaga ordered flags and banners arranged to give the illusion of a larger force. He positioned his troops stealthily in the narrow Kamagatani Valley near the Imagawa's camp, waiting for the right moment to strike. Meanwhile, Yoshimoto's forces, confident after easy victories, were celebrating, unaware of the incoming threat. Using the cover of a thunderstorm to mask their movements, the Oda troops launched a surprise attack on the heart of the Imagawa camp. The Imagawa troops panicked, breaking ranks in confusion. Unaware of the assault, Yoshimoto emerged from his tent, shouting at his men, thinking they were still celebrating. Realizing too late that the attackers were Oda soldiers, he attempted to flee, but was intercepted and killed, despite fierce resistance. With Yoshimoto dead, the Imagawa army collapsed, with soldiers surrendering and fleeing. Nobunaga's decisive victory at Okehazama became a major turning point in Japanese history. The Imagawa clan was destroyed, and Nobunaga's power and prestige soared, with many samurai and minor warlords pledging loyalty to Nobunaga, including Motoyasu, who further cemented his alliance. When his son married Nobunaga's daughter, their alliance would prove pivotal in the coming years and shape both of their lives. It was also in this battle that Nobunaga gained the attention of the military skills of his sandal-bearer Kinoshita Tokichiro, who would be a key general in his army. Following Okehazama, Nobunaga set his sights on Mino province, ruled by his ineffective brother-in-law Saito Tatsuoki. Starting in 1561, Nobunaga advanced steadily, using strategic alliances, small guerrilla-style attacks, and exploiting divisions within the Saito clan. He sent Kinoshita Tokichiro to bribe key Saito retainers, including the brilliant strategist Takenaka Hanbei, who, although frustrated with Tatsuoki, declined to defect. By 1567, all of Mino had fallen, except Inabayama Castle. Tokichiro, renamed Hideyoshi, gathered intelligence and learned of a hidden path to the rear of the mountaintop fortress from a local named Horio Yoshiharu. Leading a small team, Hideyoshi infiltrated the castle, setting fire to the storehouse and causing panic among the defenders, who believed they were under full attack. Amidst the chaos, Nobunaga's forces stormed the gates and captured the castle. After capturing the castle, Nobunaga renamed it Gifu Castle, made it his stronghold, and adopted the slogan Tenka Fubu, unite the realm by force, declaring his ambition to unify Japan. As Nobunaga plotted his next move, a plea for help would forever change the land of the rising sun. In 1568, the Miyoshi clan murdered the shogun Ashikaga Yoshiteru and installed his cousin Yoshihide as a puppet. Seeking revenge, Yoshiteru's brother Yoshiaki and his bodyguard Akechi Mitsuhide arrived at Gifu, seeking Nobunaga's help to avenge his brother's death and reclaim the shogunate. Nobunaga seized the opportunity to extend his influence into the heart of Japan. Nobunaga's forces marched to Kyoto, the capital, facing and defeating resistance along the way, including the powerful Rokkaku clan, who had pledged loyalty to the puppet shogun, but they were no match for Nobunaga's men, who quickly defeated them in the siege of Chokoji. On November 9th, 1568, Nobunaga triumphantly entered Kyoto, expelled the Miyoshi clan, and installed Yoshiaki as the new shogun. Nobunaga rejected any formal position under Yoshiaki, choosing to be the real power behind the scenes. Nobunaga was the puppet master, and he, not Yoshiaki, would be pulling the strings. As the true power in Kyoto, Nobunaga turned his focus toward the powerful clans that still stood in the way of his vision for a unified Japan. In 1570, he joined forces with his ally Matsudaira Motoyasu, now named Tokugawa Ieyasu, at the Battle of Anegawa to face off against the Azai and Asakura clans, two formidable clans that had allied against Nobunaga. The battle was hard-fought, with Kinoshita Hideyoshi, now Hashiba Hideyoshi, leading Nobunaga's forces with help from his new strategist, Takenaka Hanbei. The combined forces emerged victorious, securing Nobunaga's hold over crucial territories and deepening his alliance with Ieyasu. The success against the Azai and Asakura at Anegawa underscored Nobunaga's tactical brilliance and marked the beginning of his dominance over Japan's military landscape. As Nobunaga's influence expanded, his reputation for ruthlessness and as a force not to be reckoned with grew. With the Azai and Asakura clans subdued, Nobunaga faced a new kind of threat, the Ikki, a coalition of Buddhist warrior monks and peasants who fiercely opposed samurai rule. This organized and ideologically driven resistance challenged Nobunaga's authority and, by extension, the stability of his puppet shogunate under Yoshiaki. In response, Nobunaga initiated the Ishiyama Honganji War in 1570, beginning a nearly decade-long campaign against the Ikki's most fortified strongholds, including a notorious assault on Mount Hiei in 1571. Enryakuji, the monastery atop Mount Hiei, was a stronghold of the Ikki. Nobunaga ordered the total destruction of the monastery. With Akechi Mitsuhide leading the army, they slaughtered thousands and razed Enryakuji to the ground. This ruthless act earned Nobunaga the title Dairokuten Mao, the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven, a reference in Japanese Buddhist belief to the Sixth Heaven, the realm inhabited by the most evil deities and ruled by the Demon King himself. Rather than reject it, Nobunaga embraced the title, wielding it as a tool of intimidation and striking fear into all who opposed him. As Nobunaga's power grew, so did Ashikaga Yoshiaki's resentment. Although Yoshiaki was shogun, the most powerful man in Japan, he was really a puppet, with Nobunaga pulling the strings. For 5 years, Yoshiaki's frustration grew, and he began plotting against Nobunaga, seeking to rally support to remove him from power and restore the shogunate's authority. In 1573, Yoshiaki launched his revolt, but the Demon King moved swiftly, crushing the shogun's forces. Nobunaga deposed Yoshiaki and banished him to a Buddhist monastery, formally ending the Ashikaga Shogunate and solidifying his position as Japan's de facto ruler. After dissolving the Ashikaga Shogunate, Nobunaga turned his attention to other threats, particularly the powerful Takeda clan. The Takeda clan was famed for their elite cavalry, which had long dominated Japanese battlefields, including crushing defeats against Nobunaga's allies. Tensions rose and finally culminated in 1575 at the Battle of Nagashino. Anticipating Takeda Katsuyori's reliance of cavalry charges, Nobunaga stationed approximately 3,000 arquebusiers behind wooden palisades and employed a rotating volley fire technique. This continuous gunfire devastated the Takeda forces, marking one of the first large-scale, effective uses of firearms in Japanese warfare. Although Nobunaga had previously used firearms, this battle saw them deployed as the army's main force of attack. Nobunaga's victory at Nagashino wasn't just a tactical success, it was a turning point in Japanese warfare, as firearms would continue to dominate the battlefields moving forward. Nobunaga's influence and innovations were not limited to the battlefield. He also introduced transformative changes in Japanese culture. Nobunaga constructed the Grand Azuchi Castle near Lake Biwa, an architectural marvel adorned with elaborate art, vivid colors, and gold leaf, symbolizing his power and vision for a new Japan. A fan of tea ceremonies, he actively promoted the practice among samurai. Nobunaga was a famous patron of sumo wrestling. He frequently hosted tournaments and promoted it as a sport of honor and entertainment. Although he didn't believe in a particular god, he was relatively tolerant of religions, even allowing Jesuit missionaries to proselytize Christianity in Japan, but more likely because they supported his unification efforts and provided him with matchlock guns. They would also bring someone to his attention who would become a legend in his own right. In 1579, Jesuit missionaries arrived with an East African slave in their possession. He quickly became a celebrity due to his dark skin, height, and imposing physique. Soon enough, he caught Nobunaga's attention, who recognized his potential and requested that the Jesuits allow him to take the man into his service, which they agreed to. Nobunaga wasn't going to make him a slave. He was going to train this man into a powerful warrior. Nobunaga welcomed him into his service and gave him the name Yasuke. Under Nobunaga, Yasuke honed his skills as a warrior, mastering the art of the sword and code of bushido, becoming the first foreign samurai. Yasuke's bravery and prowess in battle quickly earned him the respect of those around him. By 1582, Nobunaga was at the height of his power and on the verge of unifying Japan. While staying at Honno-ji Temple in Kyoto with Yasuke and a few other bodyguards, Nobunaga was unexpectedly betrayed by his trusted general Akechi Mitsuhide, who surrounded the temple with a large army. Although Mitsuhide's motives remain unclear, he sought to depose Nobunaga. Choosing death over capture, Nobunaga committed seppuku, and Yasuke escaped, eventually joining Nobunaga's son to continue the fight. Oda Nobunaga's journey was one of fierce ambition and vision, a man who rose from the so-called Fool of Owari to become the great Unifier and the feared Demon King of the Sixth Heaven. Through innovative battlefield strategies, sheer will and determination, Nobunaga changed the course of Japanese history, setting the stage for the end of the Sengoku period and the rise of a united Japan under the Tokugawa Shogunate. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, you'll continue this legacy through Yasuke, the African samurai samurai who fought by Nobunaga's side. As you navigate Yasuke through the warring states, remember the story of the man who trained him. Oda Nobunaga's life reminds us that history's greatest figures are those who dare to reimagine the world around them and seize destiny with both hands. As always, don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Your support helps this channel grow, allowing us to bring you even more incredible stories. If you enjoyed this video, we release new episodes weekly, so click the bell icon so you never miss a future video. This is UnRecalled History. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.